Hi there, Rissy here with another episode of Rissy's Room, and I am so excited because this fall I am doing a partnership with the Audubon Naturalist Society. Yes, we are working together to bring you special books that are all about the fall. This is through the Green Kids program, so I hope you enjoy it and learn so much. And of course, because it's a partnership, every book we're gonna read, I want you to think about these questions. Number one, what was the most interesting thing you learned from this book? So I want you to start thinking about it as I read it. What is something interesting that I'm learning right now? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, what is one thing you could ask the author if you could talk to them? So when I tell you what the book is and after we read it, I want you to think, if I had the chance to meet that author, I would definitely ask them this. And then you get to decide what you would ask them. And then number three, what do you think the author wants readers to remember most from this book? So not only do I want you to think about what you would ask the author, but what do you think they want you to remember from this book? And the last question is, if you could give this book another title, what would it be? Today's book is called Be a Friend to Trees. And this book was written by Patricia Lauber and illustrated by Holly Keller. So I'm gonna read it to you and I want you to think about those 4 questions. And what would you name this book? Would you keep it Be a Friend to Trees, or would you name it something else? Let's find out. Be a Friend to Trees. Be a Friend to Trees. Now, I have a tree right here next to me. I don't know if you can see it, but in the book, you can see this picture. It shows you the parts of the tree. So you have the roots that are down below, and then the trunk. And the trunk isn't just the trunk, it also has inner bark and outer bark. Then there are twigs that come off the trees. And again, I don't think you can see any of the twigs above me or the branches. And unfortunately, this tree right next to me doesn't have any leaves, but the tree back there has lots of leaves, and the leaves are changing colors. Ooh, I love the fall. Here we go. Trees are nice. They're nice to look at. They're nice to have around. They're great. Trees are also useful. Both people and animals need trees of all kinds, sizes, and shapes. In fact, in this picture, there's a shagbark hickory, a sugar maple, an eastern white pine, and a gray birch. There are also animals. And if you can hear next to me, I have a squirrel that's going into our bird feeder. Oh, squirrels. Oh, no. Everything that is made of wood was once part of a tree. Look around you. How many wooden things do you see? Make a list. Don't forget to count your pencil and maybe your house. Oh my goodness. Let me look around. We have a fence. That fence is made out of wood. That birdhouse is made out of wood. Oh my, this chair has wooden legs. Those are made out of wood. Wow. There's a lot of things made out of wood. Paper also comes from trees. Oh my goodness, this book is made out of paper. This book is made from trees. That's so silly. Wood is chopped into small pieces, mixed with chemicals and heated. The wood softens and becomes pulp, which is used to make paper and cardboard. Writing paper, books, newspapers, magazines, paper towels, cereal boxes, milk cartons, and many other things. Make another list of everything you see that is paper or cardboard. And don't forget the paper you're writing on and the book that I'm reading from. Oh wow, look at this. They take the wood chips. Do you notice in the picture? There's wood chips. The wood chips are cooked with chemicals. Chips become soggy pulp. The water is drained from pulp. The pulp is dried and flattened, and then the paper is rolled. So cool. Some trees can be tapped for their sap. Sap from different trees is used to make maple syrup, chewing gum, soap, paint thinner, and rubber. I didn't know all of that. So a sugar maple tree has sap that makes syrup. A white pine has gums for turpentine. And a rubber tree has latex that's used for rubber. That's so cool. Trees are green plants, and so they make their own food. Green plants are the only living things that can do this. Wow. Other living things depend on green plants for food. Some eat parts of plants. Some eat the plant eaters. Some eat both. What are you? Do you only eat plants, or do you sometimes eat the things that eat the plants? Do you eat both? Sometimes I eat both. You eat the parts of trees known as fruits and nuts. Apples, oranges, pears, cherries, peaches, walnuts, almonds, pecans, hazelnuts, and lots of others. Chocolate also comes from a tree. It is made from the seeds of cocoa trees or cocoa trees. Many animals eat parts of trees. Caterpillars eat leaves. Oh, it looks like they eat the leaves of the live oak. So do deer. Oh, deer eat white ash leaves. And so do koalas. And koalas eat eucalyptus leaves. Oh, and so do giraffes and elephants. It looks like they eat acacia trees leaves. And porcupines eat the inner bark of trees as well as buds and twigs. Ooh, that porcupine looks like he likes mulberry. Yeah, mulberry. Squirrels and chipmunks gather nuts to eat. And this squirrel in my yard is eating a lot of nuts right now. Bees find food in the flowers of trees. They collect pollen in the sugary liquid called nectar. Birds eat seeds and fruit from trees. And those are only a few of the animals that find their food in trees. And on this page, we have a northern red oak, a scarlet hawthorn, which is fruit tree, and a scarlet hawthorn, which is a flower. Many animals make their homes in trees. Birds roost in trees. They build nests and raise their young in trees. Squirrels nest in trees. Monkeys live in trees. And some tree frogs spend their whole lives in trees without ever coming down. Honeybees make hives in tree hollows, and many other insects also live in trees. So do small creatures such as spiders. Deer find shelter beneath the trees of forests and woodlands. They find safe places to hide their young. The roots of trees hold soil in place. They keep it from washing away in heavy rains or floods of water from melting snow. When soil is held in place, water sinks into it and is stored in the ground. Many people depend on water that is stored underground. They draw it to the surface through wells. Trees do something else that is very important. It has to do with the air we breathe. Air is made of gases. One of them is oxygen. It is the gas that our bodies need. It is the gas that all animals need. Each time we breathe, we take oxygen out of the air, but the supply is never used up. The reason is that trees and other green plants keep putting oxygen into the air. They give off oxygen as they make their food. Trees make food in their leaves. The leaves can be broad, like the ones you see on a maple tree. They can be narrow and pointed, like the needle-shaped leaves you see on a fir or a pine tree. And all these green leaves do the same work. They make food for the trees. There's the ponderosa pine, the gray birch, the silver maple, the American holly, the quaking aspen, and the post oak. So many leaves. To make food, leaves use water, which they take from the ground. They use a gas called carbon dioxide, which they take from the air. They use sunlight as energy. With energy from the sun, green leaves put the water and carbon dioxide together. They make a kind of sugar. The making of food by plants is called photosynthesis, a word that means putting together with light. Photosynthesis, can you spell that? P-H-O-T-O-S-Y-N-T-E-S-I-S. So impressive. Leaves use sunlight for energy. Carbon dioxide comes from the air. Leaves get water from the soil. Photosynthesis. Trees need food just to stay alive. They also need food for growth, to make new wood, leaves, twigs, fruits, and nuts. Some of a tree's food is used right away. Some is stored for future use. There's a picture of a twig with new buds for leaves and flowers. There's a red mulberry, an almond, and a Norway maple. While making food, leaves also make oxygen that they don't need. They get rid of it by putting it into the air, and we get to breathe it. Now look at that leaf. That leaf is getting sunlight, it's getting carbon dioxide, and it's getting water, and then it's releasing oxygen. Much of the oxygen that people and animals need comes from trees. Without them, we might not be here at all. So, trees are more than nice. They're something we cannot live without. And that is why everyone should be a friend to trees. Are you a friend to the trees? I know I'm a friend to trees. I'm a friend to trees and to plants. I have so many plants in my house. Oh my goodness, so many. And I like to name my plants and my trees. Do you know why? Because just like I have a name and you have a name, I feel like these trees should have a name. Now, more than just what they are. So this right next to me, which you may be able to see or may not, is a crepe myrtle, right? So that is the type of tree, but what's that tree's name? That's something that we get to do. We can name our trees around our house and around our neighborhood. So I want you to think about that. And this is a very special tree. So since we are partnering with the Audubon Naturalist Society, we are also having activities with Miss Gina. So we're going to go right from this book to the activities with Miss Gina, and they're going to have to do with trees. How fun is that? And when you're with Miss Gina, she's gonna ask you some questions. Here are the questions. Remember the questions at the beginning too? What would you name this book? What would you ask the author? What do you think the author wants you to remember from this book? Those are some questions I want you to think about, in addition to what are some of the reasons why people and animals need trees? Why do you think we need trees? And Miss Gina's gonna also help us find that out. Which things in your house or classroom are made of wood? Remember, I told you that fence is made of wood, the birdhouse is made of wood, my chair is made out of wood. There's lots of things made out of wood. And what are some ways that you can be a friend to the trees? I told you my way that I'm friends with trees and with plants is that I name them and I talk to them and I say, "What's up, Myrtle? Hey, Myrtle. Go ahead, Myrtle. You're looking good today, Myrtle." That's what I do with my trees and with my plants. What do you do? Oh, I can't wait to hear what you do to be a friend to trees, and I hope you have so much fun with Miss Gina and enjoy the activity. See you next time.
Hi friends, this is Gina from the Audubon Naturalist Society, and I am so excited to learn about trees with you. Let's answer the first question. Why are trees so important for people and animals? Well, trees give us so much. They produce oxygen, which we use to breathe. Trees give us shade when it's too hot outside, and they provide shelter for animals. Many animals build their nests in trees. They also can hide from predators and from the weather. And so many things that we see in our house, that we use in our neighborhood, are made out of wood. This takes us to the second question. Which things in your house or classroom are made out of wood? We heard some examples in the book, but I have prepared a table full of objects for you to look at. And I am sure you're gonna find many more examples of things made out of wood at home. I found a toilet paper roll. Yes, it is made out of wood. And my shoe. Oh wait, yes, look at the sole of my shoe. That is wood. I found a guitar, and several musical instruments are made out of wood. The chair that I sit on is also made out of wood. My pencil holder, paper towels, and boxes, puzzle boxes, any kind of cardboard boxes are made out of wood. You can see a pencil there as well, a bowl, toothpicks, and toys. The third question is, what are some ways that you can be a friend to trees? Taking care of trees, planting trees, watering them. But not only that, recycling is also good because paper is made out of wood. So if we use less paper, we're being good friends to trees. Another way to be a good friend is getting to know your trees. Trees have different types of bark, and also they have different types of leaves. In our activity today, we're gonna use those different types of leaves to make leaf robins. It is very easy. Are you ready to do this activity with me? Come on, let's do it together. For this activity, you will need peeled crayons, paper, and leaves.